Hey guys, it is Kimberly from wicklesskimberly.com, and I wanted to do a quick demo for you guys of the new Scentsy Diffuser system. Pretty much go from unboxing all the way to the very end of just enjoying the fragrance. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you put it down below and I'll be sure to answer your questions as soon as possible. But the first thing that you probably notice about the new diffuser system are these boxes right here. They are brand new to us and they look amazing. They're completely different than our normal square white boxes. They have, it's like, I can't think of the name. Of course, start recording, I can't even think of the name. It's kind of like, I don't know, like brown paper. And on the front of every box, this is new this season, starting fall and winter 2015, on the front of every warmer box, you have a picture of what's inside. And so this diffuser is a spire, so this one is the white ceramic rectangle one. That's why it looks like that, just like a rectangle box. And then you see we have our new logo. And another thing I wanted to point out is that on top, you have our new icon for the home category. We have 7 new categories, so we have 7 new icons. So for the home portion, we have a tree, and the tree symbolizes strength and strong roots, and so that's where the tree came from. So we have 2 boxes. Anytime you order a diffuser, you will always get 2 boxes. And you can see this one over here is a little bit bigger than this one. So we'll start with the bigger one. The bigger one has your shade in it, and only the shade. And so this is the shade. If you guys can see. And so you can see it's kind of etched. So if you have the etched core, it's very similar to that. And you definitely don't want to touch this if you have dirty hands. So make sure you wash your hands before, because if you touch this with dirty hands, it's going to transfer really, really easy to this type of ceramic. And so you have holes at the bottom, and then you have 1 hole at the top, and that's where your mist is going to come out. And I'll show you more about that in a second. And then on the back, we have the new font for Scentsy, new for the fall and winter and going forward. We have a much more refined and mature look for our font. Set that aside. So here is the actual base portion. You can see on the front it does say teardrop pedestal. So this is all of the mechanisms, the computer, the lighting, the actual diffuser itself. So whenever you open it, you do get instructions. Always make sure you look at the instructions so you know what's going on. This is the base, pedestal base. And so a lot of people think, oh, it's battery powered because there's no plug. So please make sure that you take your top off. Your plug's inside. All right. We'll talk to you a little bit about the base. So this is what the base looks like. And you can see you have the Scentsy logo as well. And then you have your lighting options, which looks like a light. And then you have your misting options, which looks like a raindrop or water droplet. Then on the bottom, you have where the plug goes, which we'll talk about in a second. And then on the top, if you'll be able to see because of the light, there is a water spout. And right underneath the water spout, there is a line that says max. And so you do not want to go over that max line. Here is what the inside looks like. I know, goodness. So I did want to mention, plug this in first. At least I think that's what I didn't say or did say. Plug this into the bottom first, the base first, and then plug it into the wall. You don't want to plug it into the wall and then into the base. Okay, so another cool thing that I really just realized before we started doing this video is that you can actually spin the plug on the bottom. So if you don't, because technically if you plug it in here, it looks like it comes out of the front. So if you don't want the plug, if you want this like, can't think of the word. If you want people to see this and not the cord, like you can move the cord anywhere. You can spin it. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So we have our plug. And then to use this, come on, you only want to use cool tap water. And so I know some other, oh, sorry. I know some other diffusers use distilled water. And so this, Scentsy has made it clear that we only want tap water being used. Hi. If for some reason you know that you live in an area where there's hard water, you can use bottled water, but for all intents and purposes, we want you to use cool tap water. So I have my straight from the sink tap water, and so I'm going to pour it into the max line there. And then you just choose whichever oil you want. And the cool thing about our diffusers, which is a little bit different than our warmers and wax, is you can use any oil. So if you already use oils with another diffuser, you can use the same oils in ours, because it is the cold mist technology. And I learned something the hard way yesterday. We have 3 different types of oils. We have essential oil blends, and 100% natural oil. And so this one, the 100% natural oil, and don't quote me on this, it's possible that all the 100% natural oils are thicker, so it took some time to get this natural oil out because it's thicker. So just be aware of that. If you get 100% natural oil, you literally have to sit there and hold it upside down or like at an angle, and it drips very slow. So just for the purpose of this, I'm going to use an essential oil blend, and this I'm going to use clear. And so they say start out with 4 drops and then increase if you need to, kind of like the wax. You can start out with half a cube or a cube, and if you can't smell it, you can add more. And so we're going to start out with 4 drops. Okay. I can already smell it. It smells amazing. Okay. And then we take our top. Put your top on. Put your top on. And then you put your shade. And so one really cool thing about these shades is they are interchangeable. So if at some point you buy more than one, the shades can be switched for any reason. At this time, you cannot buy the shades individually for the fall and winter 2015 season. It is possible that next season you will be able to buy the shades individually, but at this time we can't. And so you just slide the shade on, and then I like to watch the top and make sure that the top of the mister is right at where that hole was in the top. Okay, I'm going to close the blinds so that way you can really see the lighting options that we got going on. Okay, so I closed the blinds just a little bit, and I also moved so that way whenever I turn on the lights you can actually see what it looks like, because the other way you wouldn't be able to see it. So I'm going to choose my lighting option first, and so you just press the button 1 time for high, and so you can see it's really, really bright down here at the bottom because there's more holes, which is super pretty. So we have high, press it 2 times for low, and then 3 times for candle flicker, which I think is amazing. And then press it 1 more time to turn off the light. Okay, so from this off position, you can press and hold the button for 1.5 seconds, and that's where you get those 12 LED lighting options. How amazing is that? And so it's going to cycle through pretty much an entire rainbow of colors. That's purple. And I think my favorite thing about this lighting option is you can stop it on whatever color you want. So for me, this will probably be in Alora's room, who will be born in a couple months. And so her room colors are like a dark purple, teal, turquoise. So I can stop it on one of those colors and it'll stay that color, which is super exciting. So now we're cycling through like a yellow and a green. But if I don't want to wait, I can press the light button again and I can get to whatever color I want, right? And so let's say I want to leave it on that one. It'll stay that color. That's pretty exciting. So yeah. And then to turn off the light, you just press and hold and it'll turn off. So right now I am just using this diffuser as a light. So you don't have to have the diffuser on, which is a really cool thing. So let's say that I'm going to go back to the candle flicker because I like the candle flicker. It's just so pretty. Okay, so now we can choose what misting options we want. And we don't have to have the light on, by the way, for misting options. You can have one or the other or both. So if you press the water droplet one time, that gives you high. I don't know if you can see it. Like it's, my air conditioner just came on, so yeah, you should definitely be able to see it. So it instantly comes on. You pretty much can see the mist right from the second you push the button. And the cool thing about diffusers that we learned is that you get the same scent from the time you turn it on to the time you turn it off, or it shuts off by itself, which is another plus. So once, if you leave this on all day and it runs out of water, it'll turn off by itself. It has an auto shut off mode, which is awesome. So right now it is on high. It's on high. First one. Yes. So one push is on high, so that means that this will stay on for about 4 hours. Now if you want it to stay on longer, we can press it again and it'll change to a low setting. So that means that this will run for about 8 hours. Or you can, is it press and hold? 3 times to turn it off. So now it stopped. So from the off position, if you press it, same thing as the light, 1.5 seconds, it's gonna go into intermittent mode, which means that it'll be on for 30 seconds and then off for 30 seconds. And so this will also last you 8 hours like this. So I think one of the best things about this, it has a lifetime warranty. So if any piece of this, the components break, so the LED light, the nebulizer, any piece like that, it's gonna be covered, which is amazing. Super, super cool. It is cool mist, like I mentioned earlier, so you get that instant fragrance as soon as the mist comes out. You can always add more oil. You can mix your oils. You can do less oil. You can do whatever you want pretty much with the oil. Just make sure you use cool tap water. And that is pretty much it. As of right now, we have 3 available. And let's see, I have a picture of all 3 of them right here. So this one is Aspire, which is this one right here. This one's the ceramic one. Then we have a frosted glass one called Instill. And then we have this one back here. It might be kind of hard to see, so I'll put up a picture somewhere up here. That's called Evolve, and that one is glass. Like, it is shiny glass. And so that's my personal favorite, and I think a lot of consultants really liked that Evolve one. But if you guys have any questions whatsoever, make sure you put it down below. If you know someone who loves their oil diffusers, make sure you share this with them so they can see, you know, what the Scentsy one looks like. And if you are watching this in August of 2015, I was actually able to go to pre-register for Reunion early, so I'm one of the lucky consultants who gets to actually sell this. starting tomorrow, which is August 1st, a month before everyone else can sell it. So yeah, pre-orders are going in. If you have any questions, put it down below, and I will see you guys later. Bye.